Everything you've been told about getting lean is making it harder. Not the training, not the nutrition. Find balance. Make it sustainable from day one. 80/20 so it fits your lifestyle. That's what every coach, every influencer, every piece of fitness content tells you. And it sounds brilliant. It sounds kind. It sounds like something you can actually do. And it's why most people never actually get lean and get the body they are actually confident with. I'm a personal trainer, have been for 11 years, delivered over 8,500 sessions. And in this video, I'm going to show you my exact plan to get back down to 10% body fat before summer, including the one thing about getting lean that nobody in the fitness space wants to say out loud because it is uncomfortable and because comfortable doesn't sell. I'm not cutting out carbs completely. I'm not doing fasted cardio. I'm not obsessing over supplements, not turning every meal into a calculation. I've got Ibiza booked with my best mate in end of June, Corfu just over a month later with my wife, and I'm documenting every step on this channel. So this is the plan, and by the end of this video, you'll either copy it or you'll prove my point about why most people never actually get there. So in this video, I'm going to give you the full plan, my training, my nutrition, the structure I'm building around my actual life, including working around a shoulder that's still not 100%. And look, I'm documenting this whole thing on the channel, progress updates, honest check-ins, what's working and what isn't. So if you want to follow along and run the same plan, this is where it starts. So by the end of this video, you'll have the exact blueprint if you want to copy it. So this is the starting point. The shoulder has been the main thing over the last few months. Not being able to train pressure movements properly, so chest, shoulders, anything that loaded the joint in a way that aggravated it. And that's a big chunk of upper body training gone for a significant period. What happens when training drops off and life carries on as normal? Food out, social life, normal week, is that the body composition does shift. Not dramatically, but enough that you notice it. Enough that you catch yourself in a mirror and think, right, I need to get back on it. I'm tracking my weight throughout this as well, not obsessing over the number. The goal is visual, not a specific figure, but the scale combined with photos and measurements keep me honest. No fooling myself that things are moving when they're not. So I've taken starting photos, measurements are logged. Everything from here is about tracking the data. And the shoulder, I'm not waiting until it's perfect to start because otherwise I could be waiting ages. I'm adapting the plan around it and building back gradually, because waiting for the perfect conditions is exactly the thinking that keeps people in the same place year after year. So the training plan, 3 full body sessions per week in the gym, not 4, not 5, not 6, 3 gym sessions. And I know what you're thinking, is that actually enough? Well, I've been a PT for 11 years, 3 focused gym sessions a week, done with proper intensity and progressive overload will produce better results than 5 or 6 sessions done half-hearted every single time. And I've watched this play out with client after client for a decade. Full body every session, it's not a brawl split, and here's why. If I'm only training 3 days a week and I run a push-pull leg split, for example, each muscle gets hit once. Full body means everything gets trained every session, 3 times a week frequency on every muscle group. And if I miss a session, life happens or the shoulder plays up, the structure absorbs it rather than collapsing. In terms of cardio, I do 1 dedicated cardio day on a Friday, usually on the bike, and 1 to 2 jiu-jitsu sessions Tuesday, Thursday. So what does each session look like in the gym? Well, every session follows the same structure, usually a lower body compound like an RDL, leg press, or split squat, depending on how the body feels. A push movement, right now with the shoulder still recovering, I'm working with the machine chest press, sometimes a landmine press at a reduced load. I'm not pushing through the pain completely, I'm adapting it. And then in terms of pulling movements, I've got lat pull downs, cable rows, face pulls. These I can train pretty much to 90% intensity, and of course I will adjust it when I need to. And then 2 or 3 accessories, so for example, lateral raises, curls, tricep work, reflies, the stuff that builds the shape. In terms of rep range and intensity, usually 6 to 15 reps depending on the exercise, compounds towards the lower end, isolation work towards the higher end. 1 set per exercise, taken to absolute failure. Usually there's between 2 and 4 sets, so that's 1 set pretty much a 10 out of 10 failure. The point where the next rep genuinely feels impossible. Everything else is 1 to 2 reps in reserve. It's controlled, it's deliberate, leaving something in the tank. Every session gets logged as well. So what I lifted, what reps, how it felt, written down every single time. And then next session, I beat it. So more reps at same reps at more weight, better quality movement with the same load. 1 of the 3 every session. When I hit the top of my rep range across all sets, that's when the weight goes up. Drop back to the bottom and build again. Without logging all my weights, I'm pretty much just guessing. And guessing is why most people spend months in the gym looking exactly the same. So in terms of the days, my gym sessions are Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. It's simple, it's consistent, it's easy to protect, and it works for me. If the week goes sideways and I need to shuffle them, that's fine. And then in terms of the nutrition plan, high protein, moderate deficit, 3 structured meals. That's the framework for the first half of this, while fat loss is the priority. In terms of protein, 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight spread across 3 meals. This is the one number worth paying attention to above everything else. It keeps me full, protects the muscle I've already got while I'm in a deficit, and and makes the whole thing significantly more manageable day by day. In terms of calories, it's a moderate deficit, eating slightly less than my body burns each day. It's nothing crazy, nothing miserable, just enough to get the fat moving. Target rate is around 0.5% to 1% of body weight per week. Faster than that, and I'm losing muscle alongside fat. Slower than that, and the timeline just doesn't work. I am tracking calories for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Not forever, just long enough to understand that what I'm actually eating versus what I think I'm eating. Most people are surprised by that gap as well, usually not in a good way. After that, I'll use the awareness I've built to maintain the deficit without logging every meal. So I want to address the hard truth about balance, and here's the thing that nobody in the fitness space wants to say out loud, and it's the thing I promised you at the start of the video. So for the next 90 days, there isn't going to be built-in flexibility from day one. There's going to be a period of being stricter than feels comfortable. Not being miserable, not completely obsessive, but genuinely focused in a way that the balanced lifestyle approach just simply doesn't allow for. Because here's the reality. Balance is brilliant once you've actually got to where you want to be. Once you're at the body fat percentage you're happy with, once the muscle is visible and you're maintaining something you're happy with, that's when flexibility makes complete sense. Then the 80-20 rule is exactly the right approach. But when trying to get lean, while living completely flexibly from day one is one of the biggest reasons people never actually get there. Always almost in a deficit, always roughly on track, always close but never quite there. And then 6 months later, they're in the same place wondering why nothing's changed despite doing everything right. And the fitness industry sells balance because balance is comfortable, and that sells. But comfortable doesn't get you to the body you're happy with. It doesn't get you to look good in a t-shirt. It doesn't get you abs. It doesn't get you that photo on holiday which you're actually happy with, which you don't want your mates or your missus to delete off Instagram. Balance is earned. You get lean first, and then you build the flexibility in and around a result you've already achieved. That's the order, not the other way around. So for the next 90 days, give or take, high protein, moderate deficit, 3 structured meals, alcohol kept to a minimum, obviously not zero social life, but genuinely committed in a way that actually produces the result. Once I'm at the physique I'm happy with, that's when I can be much more flexible. Then maintenance looks a little bit different. Then balance makes sense because there's something worth maintaining. The Ibiza trip is the goal. Everything between now and then is ultimately what earns it. So here's what I'm not doing. I'm not cutting out carbs completely. I'm not doing fasted cardio. I'm not obsessing over supplements, not turning every meal into a calculation. It's just the basics. So high protein, moderate deficit, and consistency. That covers 95% of the results. Every layer of complexity on top of that is a distraction from the thing that actually moves the needle. So the plan only works if the structure survives real life as well. And real life over the next 90 days is going to throw things at it, as it does with everyone. So for example, this could be busy weeks at work, social commitments, the shoulder having a bad day for me, weeks where everything goes sideways at once. So here's what I'm building around that. First is the absolute foundation. It's the floor. 3 sessions is the non-negotiable, not the target for a good week, the absolute minimum for every week. Even weeks where motivation is completely gone, I can't be asked, I'm still doing those 3 sessions. The next one is sessions planned before the week starts, not figured out on the day where there's friction and reasons not to bother. I already know which days I'm training, I know what I'm doing in those sessions, and it's in the diary. The next is the reset rule, as I like to call it. So one bad day doesn't derail 90 days. The reset happens at the next meal, not the next Monday like it does for a lot of people, not the next week, not the next meal. You just restart from where you left off. In terms of measuring success, by the month, not the day. Progress photos every couple of weeks. Weight tracked weekly, but average across the month. The trend over time is what matters ultimately, not what the scale says on a Thursday morning after a meal out the night before, for example. And quick one before we wrap this up, if you want to run this plan alongside me, the free 4-week Softer Lean program in the description is built around exactly this framework. 3 sessions, progressive overload built in, simple nutrition structure designed for a real week, not a perfect one. It's completely free. So although that is the plan laid out, here's what I know from almost 11 years of coaching. The plan is almost never the problem. It's what happens in the background without you realizing it that quietly stops the fat from moving even when you think you're doing everything right. And there are a handful of specific things that keep people stuck even when the training is sorted and the nutrition is roughly in place. And most people have no idea that's happening, and until they've identified and fixed it, the result doesn't come regardless of how hard everything else is. And I've got a video that breaks down exactly what those things are on the screen right now, so you can watch that next.